Mudder Nation, Coach here, and I'm here with a familiar face and great friend, Mirna. You might remember her from last season's Coachified.
Hey Coach, thanks for having me back.
So last year we were training for your first ever Tough Mudder, and now you've done a handful. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Whew, well, as you know, I was absolutely terrified of doing the Tough Mudder, but I trained, I mentally prepared, I physically prepared, and I did it. And I surprised myself in doing it.
So you learned a little bit about yourself.
Yes, I did.
Learned you're a little stronger than you thought. Learned you could do more things than you thought you ever could.
Amen.
And now you're going to teach us a little bit about what you're good at, which is long distance running.
All right, you ready to go?
Let's do this.
Let's go.
So, Mirna, your primary form of training is long-distance trail running.
Yes, it is.
Why don't you break down some of those benefits that you find in getting outside?
Sure. When you get off the treadmill and onto a trail in nature's gym, there's so many benefits. One of the benefits is strengthening your entire body, from your ankles to your shoulders. A lot of people are worried about their ankle strength and their ankle stability while they're on the trail.
Right.
But in order to improve your stability, you actually have to get out on a trail and work on that.
To replicate, say, a Tough Mudder course, you got to get out on the trail.
Absolutely.
And it's beautiful out here.
It
I mean,
is
who doesn't want to
absolutely
hang out
gorgeous.
outside? Long distance trail running, that's a lot of distance. You're gonna go a long ways.
It sure is.
What keeps you going for so long?
Sometimes it gets really hard out there. So what I do is I repeat a mantra. My own personal one is step over step. Step over step. And that just puts me right in the moment. It allows me to focus on what I'm doing right then and there.
Gives you a
And
little
it gets me-
rhythm.
Yes, absolutely.
One obstacle that seems to come out and people are so scared of and always fearing are the hills.
Right.
It's the course itself. How do you prepare for those darn hills?
So what I do to help me up a hill is I concentrate on form. With proper form, you keep your head down and your knees up. Head down and knees up. It mentally prepares you to run that hill, and it physically prepares you to run that hill.
So you're out here, you're crushing long distances, tons of miles. How did you decide that this is what you wanted to do?
You know, a couple of years ago, I had a health scare, and that was what really woke me up and got me back on track to my personal fitness. It went from 5Ks to ultramarathons to Tough Mudders.
And do you have any tips for people at home, like trying to get off the couch? Like, what keeps you motivated? How do you stay off the couch?
You know, first of all, you have to get out of your own way. You know, all of us have these things going on in our lives. If we just get them out of our way, if we get ourselves out of our way and just step out the door and start doing what we need to do, there you go.
Right, so you're just saying, you just gotta do it. You gotta take that first step, believe in yourself.
It's all about fitness and body positivity and just happiness with running and happiness with life.
What is body positivity?
Body positivity is the idea that all bodies are good bodies.
So kind of dig in your body.
Yep, dig in your body, no matter what shape, size, height, whatever it is.
I can dig that.
So can I.
Thank you once again for coming out, spending your time hanging out with us on Coachified, and thanks for all those awesome tips.
Well, thank you for having me. Do you remember what those tips are?
No.
Right. Okay, so the first one is to get off the treadmill and head into nature's gym. Enjoy nature. The second one is step over step. Step over step. Have your personal mantra.
Yep.
And that third one, do you remember?
Yeah,
On the hills, what are you supposed to do on the hills?
Heads down,
Heads down, knees up.
Heads down, knees up. Well, awesome. Well, thank you again. And you've overcome some serious fears, stepping over giant obstacles. You got any big plans, big obstacles that you're overcoming this year?
Maybe. You might see me on the world's toughest course at some point.
Oh, dang. 24 hours of fun. Well, you heard it here first. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And tune in next week. And you guys just got Coachified. This year, I read something from Runners Magazine said that you might be one of the top 10 inspirational people on Instagram.
Maybe.
So check her out. What's your Instagram?
At the Mirnavator.
At the Mirnavator. Check her out on Instagram if you want to stay motivated. Mirnavated.